What's up, A to Z Sports Live on this Big Orange Vols halftime show. I'm Austin Stanley in for Charlie Burris here this afternoon as Jonathan Crompton is also with me as the Vols up big on UTSA 31-0, the halftime score. So we're going to be piling in here on YouTube, Facebook having some issues earlier this weekend. So just live on YouTube for the time being, but happy to have our YouTube audience with us. Hopefully some of the Facebookers can join us over here, but going to go through a eventful first half as the Vols dominate from the very first snap of the game with Joe Milton having that 81-yard touchdown run and an injury scare there, Cromp, at the end. So we'll talk about it all. First, do want to thank all of our great sponsors on our Big Orange Game Day and appreciate them for being a part of this season. BetterHelp. If you need therapy, like a lot of Vol fans probably do this season, betterhelp.com/ATOZ sports is where to go for BetterHelp and get everything that you need for them with $10 off your first month. That is with our code betterhelp.com/ATOZ sports. And also Zen Sportsbooks, you can use our referral code ATOZTN. That's ATOZTN to get a welcome bonus. It gives you a 5% cash back on your total betting volume for the first 15 days. And of course, Rattle and Snap Tennessee whiskey from Logstill Distillery. Crompton, I'm pumped about having a Rattle and Snap victory shot with you because I haven't been able to do that with you guys. You and Charlie are having some fun on that. But what do you first think of that first half? Again, 81 yards out of the gates for Joe Milton there on that touchdown run, but 31-0. Kick us off with what your thoughts are here.
Oh, I mean, I honestly, I think we came out and took care of business the way we needed to. Early, I mean, everybody's wanting Joe to run. I mean, what better way than 81 yards? And yes, I'm gonna do it. Let's go ahead and rile them up. There's no way in the world Hendon Hooker's going for 81.
No,
you know what I'm saying? No,
against
not a chance.
anybody.
He's not out. He's not out running a corner and a safety for 81. Just throwing it out there. So all the people are like, oh, Hendon ran. Well, Joe outran dudes, right?
Yeah.
And I'd say that to be funny. Like they're two different style players, but that was great to see that they've got some more, not act like full blown design runs, but full blown zone read runs. You know what I mean? Where he has the option to hand it or pull it and run. More early on this game, I really wish, personal opinion, we should have taken him out after the knee scare right there. And I say that because now he was at 14 of 16. At a certain point, he was like 14 to 18. Mm-hmm. Now he's 14 of 21. So kind of like a shaky end of the half just because of a couple of throws. And I think his leg has something to do with it, especially on that last deep ball. We should be up 38-0. But I think overall very solid. 156 yards passing, already 203 yards rushing. Like I told you, we're a running team first. All right, so we rush for as much as we have. We normally win a lot of ball games. So I think overall solid first half. I really do. I think Joe's played very efficient. My starting to become my favorite running backs, getting more reps, Samson.
Yeah.
I love when that guy's in the game.
He's explosive, man. And so like I picked up on something because look, this is what Tennessee's supposed to be doing. They're 23.5 point favorites on Zen Sports before the game. We'll talk about that later on. Up 31-0, scoring early. You know, you can talk about the block punt reaction from the special teams player that was just dumb, but you know, it is what it is. You can learn in a blowout game on this. But I did think it was interesting. One of the announcers of the game brought up what Heupel was doing after the Florida game, because I think is a opportunity for a get right game for Joe Milton and for the whole offense, really the whole team. But one of the commentators was saying that Joe Milton, Heupel and the staff asked him, who are some quarterbacks you want to look at? And he said Cam Newton. And they put together a Cam Newton video package for Joe Milton to watch. Have you ever been a part of as a player or as a coach, seen that specific of, hey, let's go find a guy that you want to emulate and see how this person deals with this adversity and study them this week coming out of a tough performance?
I think it's smart. I do, because I've said it multiple times, even before the year and going back to last year. Joe is more talented than the Richardson kid from Florida last year, just overall pure talent wise. He has that ability in him, so I think it's genius that if that's the player he wants to be, that he wants to emulate, that you show him the film of the good plays, the bad plays, the routine plays, right? How to do certain zone reads, how to protect yourself in the run game that Cam didn't do so well certain parts of his career. You know what I mean? That's why he kept having to, honestly, he looked like a Megatron out there, so padded up sometimes because he never protect himself. So I think that was a good thing to show Joe, is a multitude of different ways you can play the position and be successful within being yourself within the system. Because that's how he plays. He's 6'5", 240. You know what I mean? And can run like a deer, throw the piss out of a football. Well, that was Cam Newton. So I think it's genius they did that. And he's playing this week with a lot more confidence, it looks like, just overall, from top to bottom.
Yeah, and one of my criticisms for Joe Milton, because I haven't really, talked to you guys about the Vols much the last, a little bit while I'm on here with Crompton. Charlie's at the game having a blast. Charlie's excited to see some Nico in the second half. Hopefully, we'll get to that here.
We're just going back to the OGs, man.
Yeah, this is the OGs
show.
The 2020 season. Yeah. So one of my biggest criticisms for Milton is that he wasn't running confident. Like he didn't feel good about his ability to run behind his pads and to be, decisive and aggressive. But I mean, I hope, right? You all hope the 81-yard touchdown run gives him confidence, but the knee thing right there towards the end of the half, it's, that gives you a scare too. Cause if something goofy happens with that knee injury, and he held that knee on the front of the knee right after it happened, you hate to see that. He popped back up and came back in, but hopefully the running success can get him into a more confident, mindset moving forward, because they have to have his legs the rest of the season.
Oh, totally. I mean, we'll probably end up talking about this here in just a minute, so I won't go in depth about it, but he shouldn't get more than one drive if it's me in the second half, just to let him reassure himself his knee's okay, if it is, and then say, hey, man, take your helmet off, be a good teammate.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, you better hope that's the case. All right, so let's go ahead and get to that here live on this Vols Big Orange halftime show. Tennessee up 31-0 over UTSA. Want to ask this question because Tennessee's going to win this game. So let's ask this question. What do you want to see from Nico? Because we haven't really seen much from Nico because the Austin Peay game didn't really allow that to happen. There's a couple drives there at the end of Virginia. So what do you want to see from Nico in the second half? Because I'm with you, Crump, man. I'm surprised they put Joe back in that last minute and a half or so of there. So what do you want to see from Nico in the second half? We'll get to everybody's answers. But first, let me tell you guys about BetterHelp. If you're a Tennessee fan or a former a player like me and Crump, many years of following the Big Orange has shaved off some years of your life with the emotional roller coaster of college sports, or just the roller coaster of life messing with your happiness and preventing you from achieving your goals. Regardless, if you have some anxiety, maybe if you're dealing with some stuff, and everybody's got stuff, having a hard time, therapy can give you the tools to approach life in a very different way. That's where our sponsor BetterHelp comes into play. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and accessible. And this is an important message and mission, because finding a therapist can be really tough. So you don't have to be geographically close to anybody. With BetterHelp, you're using the online network that BetterHelp has of therapists to make it easy for you. And with our link, betterhelp.com/ATOZ sports, you get 10% off your first month. That's with our link, betterhelp.com/ATOZ sports, to get 10% off of your first month right there with BetterHelp. So, Crump, what do you want to see from Nico in the second half? I'll let you get this thing started, and then I'll go to some comments here.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see, honestly, a functioning offense. I know a lot of people are going like, oh, I want to, people are going to want the wow throw or this or that. I just want to see him run the offense effectively the way that it should be ran, just like it did with Hendon, like it has for most of the time under Joe, just to keep it rolling. I don't want to see the system have to change under him. Now, the hard part is we're up 31-0. So depending on when we get to see him depends on how much we'll actually get to see. You know what I mean? I know this is going to sound awful. I almost hope for, like we did last year. Was it against Missouri? I think it was, that we threw deep late in the game. I know that sounds awful. I'm not trying to run the score up, but when he's in, I want to see if he can start running the offense effectively.
Yeah.
Right. And not just hand it off and all that stuff. Yes, we are run first team, but we need to make sure that he can make the proper reads on our option routes, those things. So, like I said, just run it effectively, like we don't miss a beat, because if something were to happen to Joe down the road when we get into like full-blown SEC play, we got to have him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll get to my thoughts here in a second. TJ says, give Nico some downfield passes, some slants, crosses, out routes, a few bombs. Let him work on the fundamentals. Titan Matt says on YouTube, let Nico air out a couple, just some simple, good, decisive decision making there. Mr. Jones says, throws not a mile over the receiver. I'm with Sir
trying
Frank.
to
make sure you hit the like button there. You know, Mr. Jones, I don't think we've seen Joe Milton.
I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Joe Milton airmail anything in a while. Look, it hasn't been clean at times this year, but it hasn't looked like it has back in 2021 when that happened. But Eric says Nico's time will come. Joe needs the reps with these wide receivers. So I disagree. I think Nico should take the first snap of this second half of the offense, and I think he deserves and needs every snap. I don't want to see Gaston more. I don't want to see anybody else taking a quarterback rep, because I think I'm with you, man. Like, I think it's all about, if something happens to Joe, like what looked like almost happened at the end of the first half, you got to have somebody with some experience in 2 series against Virginia and making a couple throws on the run, nearly missing a touchdown pass against Virginia doesn't cut it. Like, I want to see how much experience can you work into one half of football. I don't know what that can do. How much confidence can you build? And I mean, as for you, like, how much does one half of football carry on beyond just this game for Nico, a young quarterback who doesn't have a lot of reps?
Well, you almost want to treat this year like Alabama did, excuse me, in 2020 with Bryce Young. Once you get to that point of the game, you're like, all right, Mac Jones, you're out. Let's bring Bryce in. Let's go ahead and get meaningful reps. Yeah, you're going to hand the ball off a lot, but we're still going to let you go through progressions in our system. We're still going to let you get in when we are still trying to move the ball, not just mop up duty. That's where we need. That's where we got to get him the reps. Like I said, I would start Joe for one drive just to ensure the knee's okay, right, and then get him out. And even if we make it a 5 plays, 6 plays, great, get him out. No need to have him in at this point with the hit that he took. I mean, let's call it like it is, guys. That looked. They slow-moed it. It looked painful. It did. Now I know he's a big, strong guy, but like that, those ligaments in there stretch pretty easily. So I just want to make sure he's okay. If he doesn't start the second half, to me, that's going to open up room for a lot of questions that the coaching staff's not going to want. Oh, is he okay? Can he do this? You know what I mean? That's the reason why I would go start him second half. Wash that, cool. Now Nico goes in second drive, or 5 plays into the drive, whatever. That's how I would handle it. But that's what we need to do. We need to treat Nico like Alabama did Bryce Young. Get him as many reps as you can, meaningful reps when the game's well in hand, right? Because, guys, let's just call a spade a spade. If we've got to have him start a game right now, we're not favored to win that game because he hasn't shown he can do it. Just because he's a high-profile recruit doesn't mean he's ready to start a game right now. He may be in 4 weeks, who knows? But at the moment, he's not.
No, I totally agree. So I did want to get to this because I do think this is, Chris aligns with me. Nico better take the first stop of the second half. That Nico should have. This is where I think I disagree with Chris. He should have played the last drive of the first half. So I didn't think about it until you said it. Putting Joe back out there for the last 90 seconds of the first half lets everybody know, okay, he's fine, right? If Nico goes in, now everybody's being like, oh no, what happened? Maybe he popped up, but maybe that knee is really a problem.
The world's imploding type deal.
Yeah, but I think because he played the last, 5 or whatever snap, 6 plays on that drive, I think that's fine. That was your moment of saying Joe's knee is fine. Nobody needs to freak out. And now I think Nico should come out and play the rest of the second half. Like, do you think that last?
I don't think you. Well, it could be. I don't think you can go wrong either way. And, in this situation, what a lot of coaches do is they leave it up to the starter. So they leave it up to Joe. Hey, you want to go the first drive? Let's get some good completions, get a rhythm, try to get a score. a lot of the times that happens behind closed doors. So we don't know the conversations they're having. Mm-hmm. And it may be like, I feel good about it. Let's let Nico play or whatever. But what we got to be ready for, we get up a certain point, they're going to pull Nico too. If we get up at a certain number, which I know everybody on the postgame show is going to be pissed off if that happens.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm being serious. They're going to be upset that happens, but that's, if it gets to that point, that's what will happen.
I think we've seen everything I needed to see from Joe Milton, right? He ran the football confidently. He aired it out. That deep ball touchdown to Keaton was pretty. I mean, he was so close. Close in that one right there at the end that would have, put him over 200 yards for the half, 3 touchdowns. Tennessee's up 38-0, right? But I think I've seen everything I need. I'm good. I think Nico needs to play. So let's ask this question. Crump just said it. He doesn't think Nico's going to play the whole half. There is a certain number that it gets to. I want to know from Crump, what is that number where Nico gets sent to the bench? But first, let me tell you guys about Zen Sports. Zen Sports is the fastest growing sports book in the state of Tennessee, and they are changing the bonus games with the cash rewards program. When you sign up with Zen Sports with our referral code ATOZTN, that's ATOZTN, you get a welcome bonus that gives you 5% cash back on your total betting volume for the first 15 days of betting. That's honestly insane. And if you have friends who bet on sports, you can have them sign up with your Zen Sports referral code, and you get 3% of their betting volume for the first 6 months. So that's pretty nuts in what Zen Sports is doing right there. So that's our referral code, ATOZTN, right there on your screen, ATOZTN, to sign up with the Zen Sports app on the App Store or at zensports.com. And your wallet will thank you later. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 years older and in Tennessee to bet. So what is that score, Crump, that Nico gets sent to the bench for Gaston Moore or whoever else walk-on quarterback? Your guy's Navy Schuler, right? What's that number for Nico to get sat down?
So there's 2 ways. It's either a number and or time in the game. So if you get up that number into the third quarter, it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
The numbers are close. It's close to 50 in the high 40s, low 50s, depending on field goals or not. So probably 48, 52 in that range. If we come out in the third quarter and we get that in the third quarter, we're not going to pull them to start the fourth. All right. But if we get to 6-7 minutes left in the fourth and we're up 40 points, be very prepared for him to get pulled.
Is there value to him not getting pulled?
I don't think he.
What's the value?
Is there value?
Yeah. To just do the part of the offense to run the clock out, manage the game there, right? Nothing.
There's no at that point there would be no advantage. There's too much risk for no reward. You know what I mean?
And the risk is just somebody taking a late hit on him or something stupid.
Yeah, late hit, or he gets a D lineman gets thrown into his ankle and rolls in it. Like at that point, there's no strategic advantage to leaving any of your starters or backups in if you're up 50 with 6 minutes to go.
All right. So you said
that's where I say 50 and or 6
and
minutes.
Or like the 6 minute mark. All right. Yeah, I hear you.
Depending on how it works out time wise.
Yeah. Can it happen? 50 points. That's what, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And if you see 3 touchdowns,
our defense is. Oh, if we go down to go 3 touchdown drives in a row, he's staying in until at least 6.
Yeah. No, I like that. Okay. I can get on board with that. 50 minutes around the 6 minute, 50 points around the 6 minute mark. I'm down with that. A to Z Sports here live on our halftime show. Second half getting set to start. We'll see what Nico looks like. Hopefully Nico gets out there and plays the first snap for the Vols offense after UTSA. We'll get the ball to start the second half. Do want to thank all of our great our partners for our Big Orange Vols game day. We talked about it earlier. BetterHelp. You deserve to be happy. Make sure if you're looking for that help in your life, whatever it may be, whatever stuff you've got going on, use our link, betterhelp.com/ATOZ Sports for 10% off that first month. The Zen Sportsbook, sign up with our referral code ATOZTN. You get a 5% cashback bonus in your first 15 days of betting. And we'll talk about them in the post-game show. Rattle and snap. Tennessee whiskey from Log Still. Hopefully, we'll be taking this shot here, Crumpton, in the second half. But thanks for everybody for watching. We'll see you guys right here on YouTube. Having some goofy problems with Facebook this weekend, but hopefully we get that fixed. We'll see you guys right back here on this YouTube channel for the post-game show. Appreciate you guys as always.